Initiating becoming a hiring machine sequence in 3, 2, 1.
Hey everyone, it's Sam Keenly, and welcome back to Becoming a Hiring Machine. This is the show dedicated to fixing recruitment by going beyond saying what needs to change and instead teaches you how to make that change. Today, we've got a fun little experimental episode ahead of us. Before we do get into that, I just want to tell you a little bit about the show. Essentially, we have shows within the show here. Some days we have interviews with industry thought leaders and others who are shaking up the space, while other days we cover things like trending topics. Stop by every Tuesday, like today, for a Tactical Tuesday episode where we go deep on how to do something that's going to help you drive better results in your day-to-day. Some days we open up for Q&A, and other days you get a mic drop episode from Matt where he shares something that he's been thinking about within the recruitment space and wants you to know. Now, as a reminder, if you do like the content that we share here on the show, make sure that you subscribe for more. All right, as I said, today is an experimental episode. So if you remember back in episode 134, we shared a few quick tips on email deliverability, best practices. And since then, we have released what we call the Recruiter's Guide to Email Deliverability in 2024. It is a long, meaty article. It's packed with information. It's super helpful. It's tactical. It's high level. It gives you everything that you need to know. But as we said, it's packed. It's a lot of information. And so if y'all are anything like me, sometimes I like to read content, but when it's in a longer form, I usually tend to do better with audio format. So we're trying something new here. In the era of, we want to continue to push the boundaries of what's possible out there. How do we leverage tools like AI along with our own thing? We're walking the walk with this. So I'm not sure if y'all have heard of it, but there is a product out there called Notebook LM, and it is created by Google. But essentially what it is it's this really interesting AI use case in that it allows you to put in sources that you get to choose from. It could be Google Docs, it could be PDFs, it could be YouTube videos, it could be web URLs, it could be text that you could just copy straight in. And then you input all of the sources that you want to use into that platform, and then it will be able to answer questions for you. It will be able to synthesize it into just quick notes. And one of the really cool use cases of it is that they can create a short podcast episode for you with it, where there are two speakers who take the topic and have a conversation that sounds uncannily human. And so that's what we have today. I said, hey, let's give this a shot. How does AI interpret this Recruiter's Guide to Email Deliverability? And I also wanted to have a little fun with this and the irony of having AI talk about something that in the guide we keep coming back to, that you cannot do everything through AI. It cannot be high volume, it cannot be bulk, it cannot be fake personalization, but the human element, the relevance, is what's really going to lead to success for email specifically with recruiters moving forward. So again, I think it's a little bit fun to kind of, put this one on its side a bit and having AI cover things that are basically saying, AI can't do this well, you have to have the human element. So just a fun little juxtaposition to play with. So with that, we will get into the episode here. All right, stay tuned.
Okay, so you're a recruiter, right? And you know how tough it is?
Yeah.
You spend all this time on the perfect email, you hit send, and then like crickets, it's the worst.
Yeah, it's brutal. And for recruiters, a quiet inbox is a big problem. Like, you need to connect with people, and just one little spam flag can wreck everything.
Totally. So we're diving into this today. We've got Loxo's Recruiter's Guide to Email Deliverability in 2024. They've got some good stuff in here about actually landing in inboxes.
It's tougher than ever, honestly. The whole email world changes so fast.
So true. A lot of it seems to be this behind-the-scenes tech stuff that we don't even think about.
Yeah, and it matters more than ever. Like, all this domain authentication. I'm sure people have heard SPF, DKIM, DPIR.
Yeah, it's a bit much to keep track of.
Right, like, what even is all that? Basically, think of it like this. Every email you send has a hidden signature digitally that proves it's really from you, that you're legit.
Okay.
And those things we mentioned, the SPF, all that, those are like the pieces of that signature. They tell email providers like Gmail, hey, this is the real deal, not some scammer.
So it's about proving you're not a robot.
Kinda, yeah. And Google especially has gotten really strict. If you send 5,000 emails or more in a day, you have to have that authentication set up right.
Wait, 5,000? That seems like a lot for one person.
It is a lot, but here's the thing. It's not just you. It's for your whole company's domain. So like, if your marketing team is doing a big blast, that counts towards your limit too. even if you're sending way less.
Whoa, I did not know that. So really, my emails are only as good as, like, the whole company's rep.
Pretty much. Every single email that bounces back, that's like a strike against your name.
That's where the whole validated email thing comes in, right?
Yeah.
Like making sure you're sending to real addresses.
Exactly. Because sending to a bad address, it doesn't just hurt your score, it's like disrespectful. You're wasting someone's time if it bounces. Imagine getting an email all excited and it's just gone. Not a good look.
Yeah, not the way you want to start a relationship with a potential candidate.
Mm-hmm.
So clean lists are key. And then what else? What's this I'm seeing about visuals and emails being bad?
Oh yeah, this is interesting. The guy talks about how even having visuals, like just a simple logo.
In your signature. Seriously.
Yeah. It can trigger spam filters, especially right away in those first few emails. Apparently algorithms get really suspicious of visuals.
So you're telling me I should ditch the fancy formatting and keep it super basic for those first couple of messages?
Pretty much, yeah. They're saying text only for cold outreach can actually be more effective, surprisingly. Once you've gone back and forth a bit, then you can bring in the visuals.
Interesting. So how do you balance that? Like, I get keeping it simple, but I also don't want them to think I'm, like, a robot sending these.
Yeah.
Where's the human touch?
That's where this whole two-signature thing comes in. It's kind of smart, actually.
2 signatures. Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about how that works.
So basically, you've got one that's like super clean, bare minimum, just your name, maybe title, phone number, that's it. That's for those first couple emails.
So you don't overwhelm them with info right away.
Exactly. Build the trust first. Then, once you've chatted a bit, you can switch to a more, I don't know, robust signature.
Yeah.
You've got your logo, social media links, all that jazz.
Makes sense, like a gradual warm-up. So we're being smart about our domain. We're keeping those early emails super clean, text-based, validated addresses.
What about follow-up, though? Because I'll be honest, I've totally been guilty of sending the same email again, but just like changing the subject line a tiny bit, hoping they'll finally see it.
Oh yeah, we've all been there.
But the guide's saying that's a no-go.
Big no-no.
Why, though? I always figured, like, persistence is good in recruiting, right?
It can be, but not if it feels like you're not even paying attention to them. Email providers are getting so smart these days, they can see right through that. You're just hurting your score. So then what's the move? How do you walk that line between following up, which you got to do,
Yeah.
but not being like that recruiter?
It's about adding value each time you pop up, right? Instead of
Yeah.
saying the same thing again, share an article that's relevant to them or mention something cool your company's doing, or even just point out something specific you liked about their skills. Show you're paying attention.
So it's quality,
Mhm.
not just quantity, even in the follow-up.
Right.
But like we do have to reach a lot of people. How do you balance that? This is where I saw the guide mentioned ABCD campaigns. And I got to be honest, I skimmed over that part.
Oh, those are cool. It's how you handle volume without being spammy, basically. Instead of one big email to everyone, you create variations.
Okay.
So like 4 different subject lines, and then for each of those, you've got 3 different versions of the content itself.
Hold on. 4 subjects, 3 contents. That's like 12 different emails.
It sounds like a lot, but hear me out. Think of it like, say you're trying to reach software developers. One version of your email focuses on a specific coding language, another's all about your awesome company culture, and the third one talks about career growth opportunities.
So it's still tailored, just in different ways.
Right, and it hits different parts of what someone might be looking for in a job.
Okay, that's actually pretty clever. But what about beyond email then? Is that still a thing?
You're thinking multi-channel, like the guide mentions.
Yeah, is that really that important? I feel like everyone and their dog is on email these days.
True, email's still king, but think about it in real life. When you're interested in connecting with someone, do you just stick to one way of talking to them?
No way. If I actually want to reach someone, I'm texting, calling, maybe even a handwritten note, if it's the right situation.
Exactly. And it's the same for recruiting, right? It's not about spamming them everywhere. It's more like you're using those different ways of reaching out to build something real. The guide had this example. Imagine you connect with someone on LinkedIn, right? Then like a couple days later, boom, you send them an email, but you mention that you connected on LinkedIn. Maybe you even give them a quick call, then another email about that. Suddenly, you're not some random recruiter anymore.
You've built up a history, so to speak.
Right. It's not cold outreach anymore. You've got that connection going.
I like it. So it's less about, like, how do I trick the email system?
Right.
And more about, how do I actually become someone worth talking to?
Exactly. Which honestly is a better way to be anyway, right?
For sure. It reminds me of when I was interviewing for jobs right out of college. There was this one recruiter. He was great. Took the time to actually learn about me, what I was good at. He even connected me with someone at the company who could, like, give me the inside scoop. I didn't even get that job in the end. But
Right.
I never forgot how he made me feel like I mattered.
It makes all the difference. And the funny thing is that human touch, it actually helps with deliverability too.
Win-win.
Yeah.
This guide has been seriously useful. I'm walking away with a ton of ideas to try.
That's awesome. Just remember, what worked even last year in email might be totally different now. Got to stay on top of it.
How do you do that? It feels like a lot.
You don't have to learn every single algorithm change. Just be open to learning, Read articles. There's always experts talking about the stuff online. And don't be afraid to just try things out.
Good advice. As we wrap up this deep dive, is there one small thing our listeners could tweak today just to get started?
Honestly, look at your email signature. Is it packed with links, images, all that? Try a simpler version, especially for those first few emails. You might be surprised.
Love it. And to everyone out there, keep the conversation going. The email world's always changing, so stay curious, test things out, and most importantly, be a real human being. That's what it's all about.
All right, so that is your first episode with Notebooks LM's interpretation of our email deliverability guide. What'd you think? I thought it's pretty interesting, right? Especially how they have the little things, the the likes, just the ability to inject what sounds really, as I said earlier, uncannily human. So curious for your thoughts on this. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did it pique thoughts for you? Curiosity? Anything else? Please, please, please let us know. I really like the fact that it is a very short episode. These under 10 minutes of just distilling down the information that you need to know and taking from it what you need to get on with your day. As I said, from sorry, you may have just heard our little one over there. She's very happy this morning. She really liked the episode as well, as you can tell. But yeah, let us know what you think. As always, Becoming a Hiring Machine is a production of Loxo, and the follow-on question is, we always say, if you have questions, if you have advice, or again, feedback, send it to us, podcast@loxo.co, specifically about this episode. So other than that, you can find the show notes in the description of your favorite podcast streaming platform, as well as on our website. We do a full video episodes available on YouTube. And if you did enjoy this episode, leave us a quick rating in your podcast streaming platform. It takes 3 seconds, and it's going to help other recruiters like you to find us. So, all right, everyone, that's the show. That was a fun experimental tactical Tuesday. Until next time, bye, y'all.